Hey everyone, I know it's been a little while since I made a video. I think it's been a month. But I've just been busy with work and other stuff, and I just didn't have time to make a video, but now I do. And the video for today is actually going to be on something that I just recently got back into playing, and that was Runescape 2007, old school Runescape, which well, the Runescape developers released. I think it's been out for like a few years now, the old school version of this. And I got back to playing it, started playing like 2 weeks ago, and I got hooked onto it again. And anyways, these are my stats if you're interested. Anyways, doesn't matter. The point is, I wanted to build a bot for this game. Now, before I start the rest of this video, I actually want to give a quick disclaimer. And I feel like this disclaimer is extremely important because I am going to be talking about a bot that I made. And I don't want my account getting banned just because I'm probably going to have the word bot in my... What the hell? How's he walking sideways? Well, I've never seen a character walk sideways before. Just because I'm going to have the word bot in my title of this video, and there is, even though there's a slim chance, there is a chance that a moderator from RuneScape might watch this video and then I might get banned. I have to give this disclaimer, and the disclaimer is, actually first let me tell you about the bot. In RuneScape, there are different ways of making money. One of the ways is to do PvP fighting. Unlike other massive online multiplayer games, if you die in RuneScape and you have items on you, there's a very high chance that you're going to lose valuable item. And that's essentially what I find most addicting about this game. Because if you're fighting people in PvP, you're risking items, things that you have worked hard to get. And that's what makes it, extremely fun. When you die, there's a certain amount of risk to this game. The point of this bot is to be able to fight in PvP, so fight and kill other players using techniques that many PvP players use. So I want my bot to learn those techniques and implement them in a fight. And I have done this essentially with machine learning, with neural networks. So I've trained this bot to be able to do this over with various data sets. You can actually see over here I have something called a data collection panel. In this window. I'm just going to move this window so you can see this window. Data collection panel. I came up with various methods of collecting data, but essentially I just found that at the end of the day this is probably the easiest way to collect data, and I'll explain that in a little bit. But this bot has not been used in PvP at all, not even once. I have trained this bot by getting a friend of mine in this game to help me out. I think I still have his name here, Steve the Great. He helped me collect data for this bot, essentially in Duel Arena, which is a location you can go to fight players. Recently, I'm sure you guys have heard about OpenAI's Dota 2 bot was able to beat some of the best Dota 2 players on the planet. And I kind of want to do the similar thing here, but obviously it's not that difficult to make a bot, for RuneScape, considering the fact that there are so many bots out there for this game already. I could probably right click some of these players. Well, this guy's probably not a bot, but any level 3 player that you see, this guy's a bot for sure. Let's see, all level 3s here are probably bots. That's a bot, I'm like 99% sure. But the point is, this game is just filled with bots. They're able to manipulate the game code and actually see different values in the game, whereas mine is purely based on visual inputs. And I want my bot to be kind of like that. I want my bot to be able to look at a piece of data that is on the screen and essentially make decisions on that. And another thing with this bot is there are no if statements. There are no if statements saying that if health is less than this and blah 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 blah, then do an action like attack the enemy. There are no if statements like that. All of the actions, there are 3 actions, combo, eat, and do nothing. These 3 actions are all based on the output from the neural network, which essentially decides, given a set of inputs, it essentially decides that, oh, you know what, with these given inputs, I should probably be doing, this specific action. So I feel like I've started to deviate from the disclaimers a little bit. I just want to say that I will be releasing the entire code for this whole project, but the only thing that I will not be releasing are the actual weights file for the neural network. That's kind of like the bullet in the loaded gun. You guys can have the gun, but I won't be giving you guys the bullet. But it's very easy to make the bullet, and it's very easy to train the network. And I did use LSTM layers in my previous iteration of this bot, but I decided to skip that because of reasons I'll explain later. It was actually very difficult to collect data the way I was collecting data before. And then when I started collecting data this way, I realized that, you know, I could just use a normal multi-layer perceptor to train this. So a few things. This machine learning bot is not designed for all types of combat, obviously. I've trained it for the specific type of combat that my account is good for. So if we look at my stats, you can see that I'm actually a range 2H pure. Just so if you don't play Runescape, what that means is that I use my bow. You can see I'm an archer, and I can shoot arrows, and I can switch to my secondary weapon to do damage. But the one specific way to actually kill enemies is to do a combo attack. So if I attack this guy with my arrow, and I quickly switch to my 2H, I can stack those hits together so that they affect this NPC over here, the guard, at the same time. So essentially it's like doing double damage, kind of like that. You can see the 5 and the 3 were stacked very close to each other in time, and what that essentially does is that it reduces the time in which the enemy can eat food. So it takes them by surprise and it can kill them. And at least I haven't heard of any bot that can do this. Maybe I just haven't looked hard enough. I don't know if there are other PvP bots have actually learned to do that or not. But my bot can actually do this, where it has learned to stack hits like that, because it can time when the XP drop happens to when it should do the switch. And it's learned different scenarios to do that, where right now it's just me doing it, not my bot, by the way. I'm not using my bot's not on at the moment. It is on, it's doing image analysis, but it's not fighting. So I'm going to explain the mechanics a little bit more so you're not confused which parts are the machine learning parts and which parts are actually just color image analysis. So first of all, you need to understand that the outputs of the network are actually macros. So when it says combo, what it actually means is, given a set of inputs to the neural network, predict which macro should be done. Should the macro be a combo macro, right? Moving the mouse and doing that thing. Should it be an eat macro, like eating the food, so your HP goes up, your health goes up? Or should nothing be done in the macro? There are 3 main components when the inputs when it comes to this, and that's the enemy's health, the player's health, and that magical little component that I was talking about before, where we switch to our secondary weapon to do double damage or stack damages. That's the bow reset value. How long has it been since the last time we dealt a damage to the enemy? So if I clicked here, you should see the bow reset, that little thing that comes up. You can see it go from 100% to 0%, and that's how long it's been since a damage to the enemy has been done with our bow. So that's essentially the machine learning part, figuring out which macro should be done. The image analysis parts, such as finding which food should be eaten, the current health of the player, the health of the enemy, where is the enemy, who is the enemy, because there could be many people. If I go to the wilderness, where actually the PvP takes place, there could be many enemies. You can see this guy's fighting, I'm going to start fighting him, right? The yellow box is the enemy. How does it know that that's the enemy and not that? So that's all done not through machine learning, but rather through some custom algorithms that I've written to be able to figure out who my enemy is from the image that has been given. That's not done through machine learning. So before we move on, I quickly want to just explain the network structure. I wanted to actually have an image that I could show you guys the network structure, but I'm having some library issues with Python. I can't install this specific library called py.dot with Python 3.6 for some reason, but I've just written out over here. You can see 3, 512, 512, 256, 256. So we start with 3 inputs, and we have 3 outputs, and we have a bunch of hidden layers with quite a lot of neurons in the first few layers, and it slowly, gradually decreases. This is a classification problem. These combo values in eat and none are essentially because this technically is a classification problem. We've got a set of inputs, set of real inputs, and we essentially just want a probability on which output should occur. The whole network is hyperbolic tangent, except for the last layer. That is softmax, because we just want a probability between 0 and 1, and softmax is the best for categorical outputs. Alright, so this is one of the fights that I'm doing with Steve the Great, who's helping me out with this bot. Okay, so I actually didn't even have the bot running, so my bad. Now it's actually running. You can see the console outputs on the Python side. You can see it's essentially just printing none, because that's the macro that it's supposed to do, which is nothing, so it's doing nothing. And it killed him. I just won the fight. I actually didn't even have the bot on, but he was hitting a bunch of zeros. So I'm gonna fight him again. So I'm gonna challenge him again. I'm not gonna be eating. I'm gonna be eating normal salmons, which actually heal less than this food that's lobsters. So I'll give him lobsters. All right. So this fight is a little bit similar because he actually has some range armor on and a chainmail, whereas I have nothing on, and I have mithril arrows. So hopefully this fight will be a little bit more fair. And he's eating food that heals essentially more than what I'm doing. So let's see if my bot can beat him. Okay, I'm gonna be clicking just to move back. So sometimes I do actually have to click, because for some reason it just there's something wrong with my algorithm. When it's done doing a macro, it doesn't click on the enemy. I'll figure that out probably later, but that just happens sometimes. Oh, come on, that hit a 0. That would have comboed him. Essentially, when a macro for it to eat comes in, it actually that's predicted by the network. It says, you know, okay, my macro is to eat. I do a little bit of image analysis to figure out which food has to be eaten, and where the next food is in the inventory, so that the mouse can go and click on it. Oh my god, he had 1 HP left. I'm actually gonna move back, because I want to stack on him. So I'm actually moving back on purpose, because that's how, once again, that's how stacking is done. If you want to do a lot of damage on your enemy at the same time, you need to kind of move back. Boom! Oh, it did nothing. It's wonderful. Oh my god, he has 1 HP left again. That would have killed him. That should have killed him. Jeez. So I am once again moving back on purpose. That should have killed him. This moving back thing, I want my bot to do it on purpose, but I have to kind of do it manually at the moment, sadly. Come on. Come on. Okay, I'm pretty much out of food. I have 1 food left. So if my bot can't KO him, this is it for me. Looks like he still has food left, so that's wonderful. Looks like I'm about to lose this fight because I have no food left. What? I won? Oh, I think he ran out of food too. Okay, so now I'm actually fighting a level 42, which is 1 level up from the individual I was fighting before. This guy's, you know, the level I'm currently fighting is, I just won. Holy shit. I just blinked and the bot killed him. I would like to fight people who are a little bit higher, but I can't seem to find anyone. Right, this guy just wants to go for it. Let's do it. He wants another fight, and I win one again. Once again, it's been literally 3 seconds. Okay guys, so now I'm going to do a little bit of PvP. Once again, I'm just going to give a quick disclaimer about this PvP. Any fights that I do, I will attempt to find the players that I've killed and give their stuff back. And this is, you know, low-level PKing, so, I mean, honestly, they'll lose, like, 1 rune to each, which is, like, very cheap. I'll definitely try to fight players my own level. I'll have at least 1 fight where I fight a player with my own level. Alright, I found a level 43 to fight. I ran out of skull and I asked him if I could skull on him, and he said yes. He's a very nice guy. Let's see how the bot performs on him. Boom! Almost died. Damn. Well. Boom! He... Oh, okay, let me just pick up my arrows. Gotta pick up arrows if I can. Oh, come on, bot, eat. Eat, bot. Generally speaking, it's good to be courteous and move back yourself, but sometimes, you know, you never know when people want to move back. Oh my god. Epic hit. I'm sure he's pretty confused with all these hits. Oh my god! I'm actually not going to eat, even though I'm about to die right now. I want to show him that I'm actually not safing, or my bot doesn't save. I feel like my bot is hitting a bit too early on. I want my bot to not do that. Like, I want it to wait a little bit, or at least for the better opportunity, you know. Boom! It killed him. I gotta add this guy because I want to give his stuff back. I'm gonna teleport to Lumbridge right now, right after I pick. Let's see, anything else that was his? Arrows. Now I just want to quickly teleport to Lumbridge and find him and give his stuff back. And I think that's kind of what it makes it even more deadly. People kind of let down their guard almost. I've noticed this fighting a few players in Duel Arena, that they think that they're gonna kill me. Especially the fact that it can combo just at the right time. You know, the players just die. Like, they think that they're safe and then they're dead. I hope the guy came back here, but I highly doubt it. I'm trying to right click. Hey, is this him? It's him. Oh, come on. Dude, trade me. Alright, we found him. I am trading him now. He doesn't seem to have any inventory spots. And there you go. So I have given him his stuff back. He's saying, oh my god, thank you. But no problem. I had to give it back, or I will get banned. He ran away. Back. Okay, I did not give his Ami back, or his Van Braces back, or his Chaps back, but those don't cost a lot of money, so come on. It's part of my loot now. My PvP loot. Alright guys, I have found another guy that wants to fight me. He is just my level, level 45, which is perfect for this fight. I hope that there's nobody around me, because the hit detection actually starts to get pretty bad when people are around. He is not skulled, so he has to attack me. Alright, well, autopilot is on. Let's do this fight. I will be giving his stuff back when, or if I die. I could die, by the way, guys. Like, this is very important to let you guys know. As you can see, it still needs some improvements. It seems to click in the wrong spots for whatever reason sometimes, and really that is kind of where it really throws off a lot of its effectiveness. Oh man, wow. Okay, that is pretty impressive actually. Man, it killed him. Well, good fight. Gotta add him, gotta give his stuff back. I have to turn my game on because he said good fight to me. I sell milk. I have added him. Anchovy pizza, what the fuck? Why does he have anchovy pizza? I think this is like a stack food or something. I'm not entirely sure how this works. Let me pick up some arrows. Maybe I can give his arrows back to him too. I swear everybody has their private set of friends. Imagine if I died to a bot and somebody tried to find me to give my stuff back. They would not be able to contact me because I would immediately log out because I would get very sad. You know, if you're probably thinking that this bot has a lot of flaws, you could probably kill. You think you could probably kill it? You're probably right. You can probably kill this bot. There's certainly a lot of flaws that I think I have to work out. My main point was the actual PvP combat where it's supposed to eat and do combos. I wanted that to be perfect. So that's kind of where I devoted most of my time in terms of data collection. But there's still a lot of bugs that need to be ironed out, like how I can find which player it needs to click on. That's still done through kind of like a custom algorithm that I've written. Certainly that is not perfect. Alright, I cannot find this guy at all. I'll keep him added, and if I see him, I will give his stuff back. Alright, I found another level 45 I can fight. This time, my bot was having a little bit of issues, so I had to kind of lie to him and tell him that my internet is being bad, but in technicality it was my bot that was actually being kind of bad. I don't know what this guy's doing. He's like a major. He mages, but at the same time he doesn't mage. I don't know what is up with this guy. Once again, I'm moving back just so I can combo. Oh, eat bot, eat, please eat. I don't think this guy's risking much because he actually doesn't even have a Rune 2H. He doesn't have 40 attack, so I am not worried too much about him losing anything valuable. So far it seems like I'm the only one who seems to be moving back and not him, which is honestly quite amusing to me. He is on the brink of death, and yet he keeps surviving. He looks like he's about to run out of food. A sweat bot kills him first. Got him. Yes! Oh, he had money on him. Okay, 40k. Very nice. Gotta give it back, sadly. I'd love to have kept this, but 40k is not much in my 6 mil collection, if I'm gonna be honest. Oh, god damn it, I did not add him. I did not add his name, though. So good luck. He said so good luck to me. Acorn. Oh, of course he's gonna be offline. They're always offline. That's 3 fights in a row that this bot's won, which is not surprising because the bot is amazing. I'm not gonna make fun of it, obviously. Acorn, buddy, are you here? Acorn, he's not here. I actually didn't even trade him. I trusted that he had 40k on him. He said he has 40k on him. Very nice guy. Clearly he deserves it back. I mean, another thing that I just want to say is that just the way the bot fights is just ridiculously aggressive. It'll take any opportunity it can get to do KO. And just the fact that it can stack hits just means that the enemy is just constantly losing health. They're constantly on their guard, and that's when, you know, you generally get them, because that's when they end up making a mistake. Well, I cannot find this guy. Well, if he logs in, I'll certainly give us 40k back, but until then, I'm keeping it. But until then, I will keep his 40k safe with myself, and I will try my best not to spend it. So now I'm going to show you guys how I actually collected the data previously to using this data collection panel over here. And that was essentially by adding macros to my keyboard keys just as a shortcut. And so I'm attacking this enemy over here, and I had keyboard shortcuts too, like suppose to do a combo I would press X and it would automatically do that combo for me. And essentially it's just recording these attacks, so it's saying at that point in time when I pressed X, while the combo is happening, what is the health of the enemy, and what is my health, and what is the bow reset value. And it's just taking these things and it's essentially just saving it. So let me do it one more time. This time I will eat. So to eat, I press Z. It will find the next inventory slot where I should eat food from. So now you can see I'm actually eating because I pressed Z. So it immediately eats and clicks the enemy. But I'm not entirely sure why the clicking part isn't working sometimes when I do PvP. Anyways. So once I'm done doing that, I actually end up getting something like this. A data set like this. So this was a data set previously. if you just take a look at this data set, you can immediately go, there's something wrong with it. It has a lot of repeating values, and that's because for the time the macro is running, it still records the data set. Now I could have fixed this problem, but this still leaves a pretty big problem at hand, and that is there will be huge missing gaps in data because I might not be doing the combo when I have full health, because in real PvP my combos will generally be happening when I'm low health. So when I'm like fighting these enemies, my combos will generally be happening when I get to around low health, because I also want to train the eating food part, because I want to eat when my health is low. And the reason I actually want to eat when the health is low is because if I don't eat when my health is low, people will actually run away from me in PvP, because that's called safing, and it's not cool to safe, because you're not giving your opponent a chance to KO you. So I wanted this bot to actually learn this. I wanted my bot to learn to eat when its health is low, just to give the enemy just a little bit of a chance to KO me, but not that much of a chance that he actually KOs me. If I'm just getting training data from when my health is always low, I'm not getting any training data when my health is high, right? And I don't want to eat when my health is high. So how do I train my bot that? And at the same time, when I'm fighting an actual enemy, there might be only one instance when I do the combo. So I'm fighting this guy, okay? I'm obviously not going to do the combo now, so this whole fight is going to go through where I only get to do maybe combo once or twice. But I need like 500 plus data points for when I do combos if I want to train this network properly. So fighting actual enemies is a pretty bad idea, because the chances of me getting those moments are very low. And I need more diverse group of moments. Stop attacking me. Right? So that's where this data collection panel comes in. And I can get data very, very quickly. So what essentially this is saying is, given player's health is very high, and my bow reset value is pretty low. So if I think my last data that I captured, I gave the wrong output, I can just remove the last data point by clicking this, and you can see my captured length has gone down to 0. Now my enemy has very low health. And I have very low health, but the chances of me KOing my enemy, simply because I seem to be hitting zeros, because that's what bow reset data means, right? I have negative 100% bow reset data. That means my bow is already done hitting. In fact, so that essentially just means that I'm not doing any damage on my enemy. I seem to be hitting zeros, or for some reason I think I'm not even using my bow. So I don't know what's happening in this scenario, but clearly I'm just going to eat, because I'm not going to be able to combo and kill my enemies. So I'm going to eat the food. Oh, so now we have 76% bow reset value, so I'm sure you guys have seen the bow reset value over here go from 100% to 0%. So that just means the window of time that I have in which I need to do that combo. So my 76% is pretty high number. I think I'm just going to combo the enemy and hopefully I get a kill. Very low bow reset value, but the enemy has a lot of health, so I would just do nothing in this scenario. I would do nothing here because we both have a lot of health. So this is another perfect example of a situation where I can't do a combo. My enemy has such low health, but my bow is doing no damage, and the chances that if the enemy has this low health, there's a pretty high chance that my enemy is going to be eating food in the next tick. So if I do a combo, I'm just wasting my combo. I'm just wasting my time doing a combo, because there's a very, very low probability that my enemy is going to die. So I'm just going to, in this scenario, I'm just going to do nothing. Alright, so now I finally found a pretty good one where I might do a combo. 64%, so my bow reset value is 64%, which is pretty high. My enemy has very little health, so I'm going to combo. Wow, okay, in this situation I would have loved to combo, but I clearly can't because bow reset is negative. I might actually do a combo if my enemy has like less than 5% health, because in that scenario it's probably worth it, because that would equate to about the enemy having maybe 2 or 3 HP. They're eating something like lobsters. That would heal them, I think, 12. So 2 plus 12 is 14, and my 2H actually does highest damage is 16. So I might take that chance and do a combo, but 10 is a bit high, so I'm gonna do nothing. So this was the data before. You can see there's a lot of repeating values, and I don't seem to have a lot of diversity. Why is this guy talking to me? Dismiss. Okay, so you can see that I don't have a lot of diversity in the data. There's a lot of repeating values, and this is the new data set with this data collection panel. You can see I'm getting hundreds of very diverse data groups, and this is essentially what ends up training the network. With this diverse group of training data and this rather huge categorizing network, you can easily learn to fight other players. So that's it for this video. I kind of got back into playing Runescape again, and honestly I just wanted to do something as a side project while I played this game, and working on a PvP bot with machine learning sounds pretty fun, and that's what I ended up doing. Obviously I think this bot, in general machine learning bots for PvP would be so much better in members PKing, because there's a lot more complicated actions that have to occur, although I'm not really going to do that. This should be pretty obvious. I'm not going to use this bot again in PvP, or really I'm just not going to use this bot ever again. I'm not interested in fighting other players with this bot. So please don't ban my account, Jagex, if you're watching this, but I highly doubt that they're watching it, but still, I don't want my account getting banned. And once again, I actually want to thank Steve the Great. He helped me out to collect data for this bot, which I actually ended up not using because I switched to the data collection panel, which made data collection far more robust than actually fighting other players. But nonetheless, he helped me out, and he helped me test my bot, which was very helpful. But actually having someone to fight really made the whole process a lot easier. And that's it for this video. The link to the code will be in the description. But once again, I will not be providing the weights file. You can train it yourself if you would like. Thanks for watching, and bye.